Do you find that you try a lot of different things and then you give up? You do something else, you give up, and you get frustrated by just giving up all the time. Well, I used to be like that, and I still am to some extent, but I don't worry about it because it's natural. But when it's not natural is when you act out of your mind. So you're excited, but it's a kind of anxious excitement. So when this happens to me, it's more when I think I should do something rather than something I feel drawn to do, something that feels magnetic. And the thing is that if you're just getting started doing what you love, finding your own path in life, you will try a lot of different things. It's like you're a kid in a candy store and you've never tasted candy before. In order to find your favorite, you have to taste a lot of different candies, and some of them you'll give up on immediately, some you won't, and some will become your favorites. So if you give up all the time, first know that it's normal to experiment, and it's normal to not know where you're going or what you like. That's why you're alive, and that's why you experiment with different things. The other thing is that you can be aware of the fact, be aware of when you try to push things. So let's say I think that if I want something, I have to do something. So if I want to be famous, I have to write a book, a best-selling book, in a certain way. Yet deep down I feel like that's not the path for me. Now, obviously in this case I am an author, I've written books, but the problems for me always start when I do something I think I should do in order to get someplace else. So I focus on the outcome instead of focusing on what makes sense for me and what my gut and my heart tell me, what my inner GPS, where it tells me to go and what feels magnetic. So I see a lot of people, they live out of their mind and out of things that other people have told them that they should do. And you may not always be conscious of this because when we grow up, we're influenced by our parents, by society, media, and everything around us. So you may feel like it's very normal for you to go to school, chase a degree, and do something else, all the while you feel this urge to do something else. It's kind of hard to explain because this is something you have to experiment with. But in my own life, I've noticed that if I try to push things and if I act from my mind on what I think I want, it usually fizzles out. The energy isn't sustainable. I might be excited for a week, a day, a month, and then it suddenly stops. But if I act from my heart, if I wait for life to come to me, and then when I notice something that feels magnetic and I feel pulled toward it, I feel drawn to it, and then I sense in my whole body that it feels right. Then when I act on that, it's completely different. However, this doesn't mean that I won't give up, because I might be studying something. Let's say I'm into writing fiction stories, which I was a while ago. I had a few months where I wrote stories, I read books, I studied story structure, and then a few months later, it stopped. The interest disappeared. And In the past, I used to try to force things because I thought that I should be consistent. But now I realize that sometimes I have these short cycles, short stints with different things, and that's okay. So when the urge disappears, I let it go and I move on to something else. And one of the reasons this is so hard to talk about for me because it's so much about my experience and what works for me. So in this video, what I want to do is bring this to your awareness. So become aware of when you force yourself to do something, when you think you should do something in order to get somewhere, and notice what kind of an effect that has on you and how you feel and how sustainable your energy is in those cases. And in the end, remember to take it easy, not push yourself too hard in anything, because life comes to you. And when you relax, you start flowing with life. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm immune against fear and worry, because I'm not. It means that even though I'm afraid at times, I bring my attention to my body, my gut, my heart, my inner GPS, and I try to live from there. And it happens one day at a time, one step at a time. So if you find that you give up a lot of time, know that it might be normal, and play with being aware of how you act. Where do your ideas come from? What does your inner GPS tell you? What feels magnetic to you? So play with this and check out my channel. I have a lot of different videos on living from your heart and making great decisions in your life and in general enjoying life. It's not always easy, but it can be quite simple. So remember to click like, remember to subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. So this is Henry signing out. I'll talk to you soon.